Hello everyone, my name is Nyoman Werdiyanti and I would like to tell you about my opinion about a text entitled paper recycling. So first of all, I would like to tell you about the text. The text consists of 5 paragraphs. The first paragraph tells us that papers come from trees which are replaceable and sustainable. Papers are also biodegradable source. Paper are made from wood fibers. It can be used fibers and virgin fibers. So government had make waste paper collection, and also the industry had developing a recycling technology to turn the used fiber into something better. And as the result, the rate of virgin fibers are increased. Next, the second paragraph tells us that uh, the community or society have to contribute also to these programs, to support the programs, not only to collect the paper, but also to separate the paper from contaminants such as staplers, strings, paper clips, and other items. Then the third paragraph tells us about where we can find the papers that can and cannot be reused. We can find papers that can be reused in factories and retail stores, in the offices that have unwanted documents and computer output, in paper converters and printers, and also in the household, which has old newspaper and packaging materials. And paper in form of books or permanent records, in photographic paper, and paper which are badly contaminants are the paper that cannot be refused. Next, the fourth paragraph tells us about the process of paper recycling. The last paragraph tells us about the advantage and also the disadvantage of paper recycling. So the advantage of paper recycling are it can save the energy, the labor, and also the capital. And the disadvantages of paper recycling are first, the quality of papers, of course, will be lower than the original paper. Second, to process to process the recycling of the waste paper, it uses the fossil fuel and non-renewable source, and the last, it still creates an emission. But the important thing that paper recycling is environmental and economical practice, and the one that we have to carry on is it can be useful both for the community and also the industry. I would like to tell you about my opinion about the tax. In my point of view, I agree with paper recycling because we know that almost every person of various ages use paper for their needs, such as for schools, for works, and other purposes. And people often use paper in vain and excessively. Paper should be able to be used for other useful functions instead becomes garbage. Demand for demand for papers will increase, so do the paper production. We know that the main source of paper production is trees, and it means that the more papers are produced, the fewer trees available. This can causes an increase in global warming. Indonesia is a country that uses a lot of paper. Many people have used waste paper um, to be reused or collected for sale and to the collector. Even though I haven't found any factories that recycling papers, but I have found factories, several several recycling sites that use waste paper, including waste other waste items to make new other useful items. And here, citizen awareness, especially Indonesian, needs to be improved to reuse the waste paper or to be able to use waste paper creatively. For example, by using all sides of papers and then using blank space of bill or other receipts, or we can just collect them and of course separate them from the contaminants and sell it to the collector, so that the waste paper can be useful again. Um, we also know the disadvantage of paper recycling. So by doing a simple way to increase the use of waste paper and decrease the use of paper, it can save uh, our environment and the human being from the dangers of the effect of global warming. Thank you.